Oh my gosh. Ooh, are we good? Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. Wow. Really? Is the microphone not working? Lovely jubbly. Of course not. Can you guys hear me? I don't think the microphone is working. Shoot. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, you can? Oh. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I take it back. Hello, everyone. How are we feeling? Yay. I'm like, can you guys hear me? Lovely jubbly. Okay. Yay. Tina's here. Lovely. Okay. Respectfully, Cicada. What a beautiful name. Says, yes, I can. Okay. Okay. Michelin is here. Love that. Okay. We jumped up to 100. Love that. Danielle says, hi, everyone. Hey, Jess. Hey, Boo. We have so much to talk about, you guys. So much. Sorry I'm a little late. Just like a minute late, I think. Maybe 2 minutes late. I was listening to Paramore. So now my voice is a little scratchy because I was singing at the top of my lungs, but we're going to do this. Okay. Makeup Loca says, hey, Jess, quick question. Are you still going to New Orleans this year for a meet and greet? It was something that was put on the consideration box, and we are maybe still going to do it, but we're definitely Morocco and definitely Costa Rica. Those are confirmed trips. Okay. Tiana Forrest says, I love Paramore. Yo, me too. Okay. Lisa says, peace, Jess. I love the lavender. Thank you, my love. Okay. Ariana. Oh, thank you. Ariana says, girl, you don't even know how you changed my life last week. I love you so much. I love how you said that. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Guyana, the Mystic says, do y'all feel like there were lots of false starts, cancellations surrounding money today? 1000%. 1000%. Tika Booyah, we're going to talk about this afternoon. Tika Booyah says, I need the deets. You are in the right place for that. I will give you all the deets for this week. There is a lot going on in the charts. I'm just giving everybody a minute to kind of catch up. I didn't send out my normal emails because I was, to be honest with you, I was so caught in the chart and just not journaling, but capturing a lot of notes. I put them in my iPad, or Franklin's iPad technically. And yeah, so we have a lot to talk about. So thank you guys to everyone that's here. Yeah, Limitless Light says I'm going through it. I believe that. I believe that. If you say that you're going through something right now, or it's just been a bit of a doozy or a headache or a pain in the you know what, I'm with you. I understand. I'm surprised how well I've been faring, but I've also been incorporating a whole lot more balance in my life, and I've changed my scheduling a lot in order to make space for this year for me, because this is one of those years that's a bit of a doozy, and we're going to see it tenfold, and it's starting to reveal itself now. So it's not anything to incite, or it shouldn't put panic for you. I don't want anybody to panic. We're not at that point. Um, but I think for right now, there are many details that we should talk about. And I want to explain to you guys what it is that's happening within the charts to help you get a general gist of why you may be feeling certain things, why certain things might be falling apart, or feeling just kind of tight and tense and unable to move forward, or just wonky and weird, tumultuous, very seemingly unpredictable, but you almost can expect the unexpected. Those types of energies. I don't want to sound very like I'm speaking in generalizations, because that's not the case. We can actually narrow it down to some degree, especially if you're pulling your personal chart. But we, as astrologers, we can pretty much see that there's a storm that's been brewing. We're in the middle of it, and this is what you need in order to make sure that you're good, that you're solid. Okay. Tina Wilson says, Jess, will you ever teach an astrology class? Actually, I'm in the works of that right now, just getting everything together. One thing that I've learned is that as much of a resource of information and wealth of knowledge that you may have, it's really good and important to have things kind of panned out. and placed accordingly, or else even the best things can get a little overwhelming. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing that same type of energy when it comes to teaching astrology. But yes, hopefully in the near future. Okay, Casey Sunshine says, I'm making silly mistakes. I believe it. I believe it, which we need to talk about. I have a bunch of notes for you guys. So, yeah, Jazz says, it's game time. Hi, all. Yes, welcome, my love. And yes, it is game time. We are in the thick of it. There's a lot of challenges right now, clearly. Everybody's going to be a little bit different as far as where these challenges fall within their chart. But for the most part, it has a lot to do with your own independence. It has a lot to do with you sticking up for yourself, standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself, and also resourcefulness, making sure that the muscle of resourcefulness is something that is strong within you, because we are going to need it, not in this year, but in the years to come. I want to stay completely transparent with you guys and just let you know that everything that I do, just to get us started for Astro Chat Live, everything that I do, every message that I bring, my intention is to make the message empowering. The way that I can do that and the way that I best operate within that is making sure that you are fully informed in what's happening. And then I present the problem to you as well as some solutions. Individually, every single one of you guys can come to your own, like, individually, every single one of you guys can kind of find and discover like what the problems are occurring, like what they look like within your life. And based upon my suggestions, I can show you where it's coming from to help you kind of like beat that beast, so to speak. And I'll give you some solutions to help you and also help prepare you. So I'm really big on information. I'm really big on transparency. I'm really big on keeping things real. I'm really big on telling the truth. One thing about telling the truth telling as a whole, is that it's not always negative. It's not always positive. It just is what it is. It's the truth. So I don't want anyone to have high anxiety during this Astro Chat time, because there's not, there shouldn't be a lot of things to, my intention is not to incite anxiousness. My intention is to prepare you so that you can plan accordingly. And something that has always helped me is that if I know what to expect, I know how to prepare myself, I know how to plan. So instead of being stuck in it and just being like, holy shit, now what do I do? So everyone is different, but that is my intention and that is the purpose of Astro Chat Live. It's to inform, it's to be transparent, it's to be honest, and as accurate as possible, like to a T accuracy. That's my vibe, okay? Dania says there's been so much fog. The truth is very refreshing. Absolutely. And that's the other thing too. Like, we're living in very foggy times, spiritually, mentally. There's a lot of chaos in the world. There's a lot of information sharing. Not all information is accurate, and information that you can count on to help you as you move forward in the future. I don't know why the internet just said that it was stable, unstable. We've been having some little blips of internet outages here lately. Okay. So just please, bear with me while I maneuver through that. Yeah, Melissa says she's been self-sabotaging her relationship. I believe it. There's a lot of undercover traumas, or traumas that have been lying under the rug of our lives, that's been kind of revealing itself. So it'd be really interesting to see what does Taurus rule within your chart? Is it your seventh house or your fifth house? I'm curious, or maybe second house. Interesting. Okay. Suzette Dumet says, it's getting shaky for real, for real. I don't know what happened. I was so chipper until sometime this weekend where I just felt drained, and I'm still trying to power through. Yeah. Daisies and Birch says, a lot of false shamans and healers out here that don't have the best intentions. There's also the ones with the intentions to heal. Yeah. Big time. A lot of that. That's just, I've been talking about this years before it happened, like towards the very beginning of my YouTube channel career. When when Neptune moved into the sign of Pisces, I could already see that the spiritual realms were going to be under attack, but also highlighted in a lot of ways. It was going to be glorified. It was going to be something that everybody was gravitating towards, that people were more interested and open to and receptive to. But at the same time, it always comes with like, it's like a double-edged sword. So there are a lot of false prophets out there, which I'm not, that's, I don't even want to get into that because I do similar work, and it can come across as if I'm trying to shut down other people or block blessings. But the truth is, as a Virgo, and I think a lot of you guys, you can see intentions, and it can be really hard to find accurate information and people that you can trust. So I totally get it. Okay, Jose says, I feel like a good cry will be good right now because sis, it feels heavy. I feel that. I feel that big time. Casey Sunshine says, seriously, you can win crystals at Dave and Buster's and buy sage, incense, and tarot at 5 and below. Shaking my head. I'm not surprised to hear that. Interesting. Wow. I did not know that. I typically don't find myself 5 and below. I will go to. I haven't been to Dave and Buster's in a very long time, so I haven't been there since they would have. But I believe you. I believe you. Daisies and Birch says, hold on a second. It's wild. They can seem so authentic and heart centered. I have lots of Pisces. They are powerful, just not in the right way. It's part of my journey and healing. It's all good. I feel you. Katrina says, blessings, queen. I've been feeling anxious and I'm not sure if it's bad or good. My birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. I just love you. Super fabulous. Thanks so much for being you. Kisses. Thank you, my love. First of all, happy solar return. Second of all, you're just picking up on the collective energy. Like, and I say that as if, oh yeah, no, you're just, no, that's a lot of energy to pick up on, period. That's why I spend so much time grounding myself and I stay off of social media, because it just opens you up to continue to be bombarded with different information and different energies and different voices and different content. And it's just all coming at you all the time. It's so important to disconnect. One of the things that works for me is I take care of my chickens. I take care of my animals. I, try to go for walks. I cook, I clean. Those are things that really keep me grounded. And for the most part, I try to balance my schedule in my life. That's something that really stirs up a lot of balance for me. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Tasha said she has Taurus in her 7th house. Yeah. That's tough. That's a tough transit right now. But we talked about this, Tasha. Yeah. Naseem says, Tasha, I'm going to text you later. By the way, Naseem says, I'm wearing a ring like yours on the same fingers. Yay. This is from Stone Cooper, and this is picked up in my travels. I don't remember where. Okay, Brian says, what did I miss? Not a whole lot. I am actually just getting started. So, welcome everyone to Astro Chat Live. If we've never met before, my name is Jessica Alexandria. I'm the creator of Bahati Life Apothecary. I'm a professional and practicing witch, astrologer, and tarot and intuitive. It runs in my family since forever. Basically, what we do during Astro Chat Live is we go through the full breakdown of the week ahead. I pull up the charts. In this case, I have the chart pulled up on my iPad. You can't see it, but it is here. The screen is quiet right now because I have it on Do Not Disturb, but the chart, when I open up the iPad, it will load up. No, it won't. I forgot to load the chart up. How funny. Yeah, so basically I want to go over the rules while I'm pulling up the chart. I'm going to be using my phone. It's on my right. Basically what we do is, we go through the full astrological breakdown. We only have 1 hour to work with. So during that hour, I really want to encourage you guys to focus on me. Sometimes little comments can get a little distracting and derailing, but basically we're going to go through all of what you can expect and the highs and the lows. And I do want to encourage you to take notes. Normally, I would invite you guys to curse, but YouTube is being a bit of a stinker with that right now. They are trying to crack down on the cussery of it all. I don't know why, because there's so much other content that they could be upset about. But yeah, here they are. So it is what it is. So if you need to curse, by all means do it. I know I'm going to drop an F-bomb every now and then, because that's just what I do. But yeah, for the most part, just I'm not offended by that. Having said that, I do want to encourage respect, making sure that you're being respectful of me, being respectful of each other, being respectful of our circle. This is a free time. So having respect is everything for me. It always has been. Um, if not, I can find myself, wanting to pull away. And I don't think anybody really wants that. Oh, Shay Beth says, yes, it's my first live. Welcome, babe. Okay, so I got my chart pulled up. Let me move it over here for you. And then I have my notes here. What else am I missing? This video is sponsored by Bahati Life, clearly, and also Queen Bee Homestead. Body butters. Oh, we just dropped the latest Valentine's Day collection. This one's True Love, which is fire. All right, guys. All right, let's go ahead and dive in because we have a lot to talk about. I don't even want to go any further with this. So much to talk about. One thing that I highly recommend is if you can, pull your chart up. If you can, feel free to take notes or don't. Feel free to also just kind of vibe along, and then you can catch us on the replay and then compare your chart to it and just kind of sit and vibe. For a lot of you guys, I know that you love to sit and vibe and just listen the first time, and then you come back around second time later on later on in the week or later on in the night and kind of recap everything that we talked about and put it where it applies as things continue to unfold. This week specifically, you guys, there's a lot of things that are concerning me as I'm looking at the chart. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that astrology doesn't necessarily look at a transit as all good or all bad. It just kind of sees things for what it is. What makes us feel bad is our attachment to an outcome. What makes us feel bad is an attachment to anything, because that thing that we're attached to represents something that's making us feel safe, giving us some type of validation, giving us some type of confirmation. And that is a fallacy because it's not real. Because when life changes and when life shifts, which it will inevitably do, that core belief that we were resting upon starts to get shaky and starts to crumble underneath us. And as it falls out from underneath us, so do we. We fall along with it. When we're looking at the astrological charts and we have squares and oppositions within the chart, basically what this is the energy of those two planets, wherever it is that they're currently sitting in, is they're not vibing. They're not meshing well together. One may be assertive, one may be clingy. And when they put the two of them together, it's like a repulsion or aggression or just micromanaging. It just depends on where these charts are falling. So there's good things that can come from that if you're aware and if you work with these energies in the way that serves you best in the moment, this temporary moment. And there's also things that can show up as more challenges and more difficulties if you are resisting it, or if you're allowing this current transit to irritate your nerves, to irritate your elements that are found within your chart. So, looking at the astrological chart now, I want to highlight the fact that this week, middle of the week, Friday, sorry. I was looking at the 5 days and I'm just like, wow, 5 days doesn't seem like enough for the week, but that's always the way that it's been. But for whatever reason, I just had this blank space in my mind where I'm just like, wow, 5 days does not seem like a lot. But on Friday, the sun is going to be directly squaring Uranus. This is when this transit goes direct. The same day, Venus, which rules our aesthetic, beauty, things that we can put our hands on, love, those types of things, is going to be squaring off with Mars. Mars is currently transiting through the sign of Gemini, who is exploring his options, doing his thing, not trying to ground himself, not trying to cement himself. It's all about curiosity. It's all about exploration. It's all about the conversation and what is exciting in the moment. Venus is currently transiting through the sign of Pisces, and she's wanting to believe something that may not necessarily be true and accurate for the time being. This can create a lot of deception if you confront whether this is a relationship or whether this is a collaboration or whether this is business or whether this is money or wherever this falls within your chart. If you try to confront this energy, it is almost combative and reactive to you immediately. This is not energy that is open to collaborating, to understanding. Both of these two planets are in very varying extremes. This is where the headbutting is coming from. Mars energy doesn't feel like it's doing anything wrong, and it's not, by branching out and chit chatting and networking and not being home. Venus wants to have intimacy, to have connection, to have depth, to explore the realms of this connection and explore the realms of this. And it has this glittering image of what things could be. Meanwhile, Gemini is like, well, Mars transiting through Gemini is not concerned with what things could be. It wants to understand what things are and continue to find in the present moment something that's exciting and exhilarating and pays off in the present. When we have transits like this, and then we have this battle between Uranus, which has been ruling our resources and ruling things that we want to find consistent and stable as it's transiting through the sign of Taurus, squaring off with the sun, who's currently transiting through Aquarius energy. We have a lot of splitation that can happen if someone feels confronted or something feels confronted. There's a lot of not misinformation, but misrepresentation that's coming through. A lot of people are not who they say they are during this time. There's a lot of obstacles that present themselves. It's like the visual vision that is that I'm getting right now is if you peel back a piece of wood and there's a bunch of termites within it or bugs within it. It looks good on the outside, but the more that you do some digging, the more you start to discover that there's something here that needs to be fixed and corrected. And if you don't fix this and correct this, you're gonna have a hell of a time building a foundation on it, because ultimately, inevitably, that foundation is corroded and will fall down. It will collapse. Wherever this applies is going to be different. Let's say you're in school, you're in education, right? You are finding this is something that's really interesting. Like, let's say you have a pre existing condition that stops you from being able to concentrate or stops you from being able to show up. Or maybe you have anxiety, so all you want to do is party because the stress of accomplishing tasks is making you procrastinate and put things off, and you need to have some sense of relief, so you find yourself leaving the dorm room to go to these parties instead of studying because it's just too much for you. So there's this underlying issue that needs to be dealt with in order to help you to be successful. It's not that the passion isn't there. It's not that the love isn't there. It's not that you're not intelligent. It's just that for whatever reason, when we pull back the wood, there's something that's corroding your ability to be successful, or to at least create a foundation that creates longevity and sets you up for success instead of failure ultimately. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, if you can go ahead and hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. Again, all this information is free. Like I'm not I don't ask for super chats. If you guys want to do super chat, that's fine too. But more than anything, what really helps me and what I love is the thumbs up button and sharing this video and sharing this conversation with others. Just be like, listen, if you want to just take some time out of your day to check the charts. I know that you may not necessarily believe in astrology, but this is just right on the money, and this girl is always accurate. So if you guys can share that information, it really does. In the long term, it helps me out a lot and it helps my channel, and it really makes me feel so grateful for you being able to have the time to be able to come on here and share this with you guys. So thank you guys. Yeah. So we have about 500 people in the chat right now, and under 300 thumbs ups, which means that 200 of you guys or 300 of you guys are being haters. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Yeah, go ahead and get hit the thumbs up for me, please. If not, I'm gonna hex you. I'm just kidding again. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I probably should not make jokes with transits like this. It's not gonna go over well. So anyways, guys, thank you. So moving back into the chart, yeah, it just creates a lot of obstacles, a lot of baggages. Let's say this is a relationship, right? This is where you know that your partner loves you, or you know that you guys have been together forever, but is the attraction still there? Is the fire still there? Is masculine energy, because looking at the chart, whoever masculine energy is, this doesn't necessarily have to be the man in the relationship or the woman in the relationship or whatever that means for you. It's just masculine energy is going off seeking information, seeking conversations. That is the intention in the moment is for a purpose that masculine believes is going to pay off for the relationship, but ultimately it almost feels like it's dragging the relationship down. Um, for whatever reason, it's this could be a third party type of event or encounter where it's like, oh, this person should be harmless, but the connection here, it's like mass, especially there's this thing, guys, called horary astrology. That's where I learned aggressively astrology. That's when the meat of my learning happened, is when I started studying horary charts, Horary. Basically, it's the astrological, um, like when you, it's the astrological map that you pull up in the moment to kind of give an answer to something, to a question, like are my keys? Is this job going to call me back? Whatever, right? When the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in horror, was I muted this entire time? Are you guys muted now? I'm about to be a dog mom. Can you guys let me know? Oh yeah, Janice. Oh, okay, you heard me. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay, you can hear me. Oh, the button was flashing. I don't know how to work these damn things. I suck at technology. Okay, so you guys are good. All right, I'm sorry. I was gonna yell at the dogs and just mute it real quick. I don't like it when they bark when I'm going live. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the comments. Love you. Okay. Yeah. So horary astrology, HORA. Damn it, I forgot how to spell HORARY. Basically, it's the chart that answers a question, a specific question, to help you kind of determine like where things are and how things are going to pan out. In the realms of horary astrology, this is one of those times where if you look at the chart, you'll be able to see that masculine is merging with something that is temporarily fulfilling an emotional void. What that looks like is going to be different for everybody, and it doesn't necessarily have to represent cheatation of some sort. It just represents the fact that the masculine energy right now is exploring Gemini and curious to discover and to find some type of emotional connection, or to have an emotional need being fulfilled that can be to the detriment of Venus, who's disillusioned in the sign of Pisces. Now, if you guys are studiers of astrology, you'll know that Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. This means that she is living her best life. She is glittering, she is glistening. She's just like, wow, true love is real. Soulmates are it. I am my soulmate and I'm going to connect with my soulmate, blah, blah, blah. It's very good in theory, but sometimes, because there's no such thing as all good or all bad, when a planet is exalted, they can be so out of touch with reality that they can't see what's going on, what's happening right in front of them, because they're on such a pedestal. This is an amazing transit when you find the love of your life and you see this person who looks like a toad, but because you've got Venus transiting through Pisces, or some type of Venus Neptune uh, aspect going on here, you cannot see past the illusion that your mind has convinced you that this is who they are. And it's amazing because that's your toad. Can't nobody take your toad away from you. That's your Prince Charming, honey. But your friends might be like, he literally is an ogre. Like, he's an actual ogre and she's just head over heels, or she is a total mop bucket. I don't know why that's what's coming through, but she is a mop bucket and her girlfriend is her mop. I don't know. Like, they just mop buckets together. Like, they work. They work. I don't know. They chose each other. So, like, if you like it, I love it. Like, one of those energies. Like, I'm not mad at you. Like, go be great. Like, I just love that you guys found each other. That sounds awful, but that's the best way to explain this energy, that it can be amazing, because you see things for what you want them to be. You're attracted to something for what you want it to be, but give it time, and a mop is gonna mop, and a bucket is gonna bucket, and a toad is gonna toad, and when that starts to show up, how long can you convince yourself? How long can you stay in a situation and just be like, literally, I've been working with a mop this entire time, and in reality, I need a rake or a broom, you know? So it's your what I would say is that this is not the week for permanent, long lasting choices and decisions. This is a temporary transit for the most part. However, Uranus clearly transiting through the sign of Taurus has been doing the most when it comes to our resources, when it comes to our investments. We have to work with the times. This is not the astrology, this is not the astrology chart's way or the planet's way of saying don't invest, don't fall in love, don't try, don't start that business, don't go to school. It's not saying that. It's just saying that if this is what you're called to do at this moment in your life, honor that, but also be open to finding different resources to help you to be successful within this. All right. Um, Alio reads for you says, Mop Bucket, so savage. Yes, girl. I'm the queen of savagery next to Rihanna. Also, side note, I would love to get a theme song for just says buckets bucketing. That's what they gonna do. That's what buckets are good for, being buckets. But anyways, I would love to get a theme song with Rihanna. If anybody could do like me, like a little mix for me for the intro for Astro Chat Live, specifically, I think it's Diamonds in the Sky or Same Old Mistakes. Love that song. Random. Okay, now moving forward. Oh, I want to talk to you guys. A big thing, a big message when it comes to investments. A lot of you guys are very successful. A lot of you guys have even been past clients of mine that have come to me when you're about to make major lucrative choices and decisions when it comes to your businesses and investments and those types of things, right? During way a few years ago, long time ago, I told you guys that crypto was something to keep an eye out for, like this new type of cryptocurrency type of stuff. Real estate was going to get really interesting. If you could invest in real estate, buy very low, because real estate is going to go up, swing up really high, and it's also going to dip, and that the actual resources in the housing market was going to dry up, because that's what Uranus and Taurus does. It creates these high upswings. The price of things is unpredictable. Our resources are drying out, especially when it comes to the earth, especially when it comes to farming, when it comes to investments and actually buying land. Those types of things are going to be very difficult. So for those of you guys that paid off, because now your real estate investments have tripled, quadrupled since the last time we talked, and even more for some of you guys. Love that for you. That's amazing. If I could have done it sooner, I would have. I just wasn't there. But having said that, I want to caution you, for those of you guys that have already started investing, that do not panic and don't hit the escape button or Control Alt Delete in what you've already done right now. A lot of my past clients and those who are waiting pending to be current clients, I've not been doing full readings, but I understand the panic. I've been getting text messages and emails, DMs of just like, Jess, can I book you for a reading? I've been very selective about who I've been working with lately, but I have been giving quick messages and quick text messages. So I want to cover all of you guys who are really big on investments right now. Don't hit the Control Alt Delete and anything that you've invested in already. Things are going to continue to swing up and swing down. And I'm really getting the strong sense that there's something that's going to incite like panic within you, if not right now, then in the moments to come, of I need to bail out, or this is going to be super detrimental to me. Of course, at the end of the day, talk to your own financial advisors. Many of you guys have them. Yeah, Michelle Gray says, yes, I remember that. Yes. Yeah. I was talking about it a lot. And the thing is that I love about myself is that I'm humble. But if I could go back, which I don't have the time to, but I talk a lot about future stuff. We're talking in the present moment, but it's a lot about future. Serena says, "Is Serena a Venus? Is this for a long time?" It absolutely is. Within the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Yeah, it's gonna be for a minute. Your investments right now, if you cannot make it for the long haul, because there's a lot of patience that's required, a lot of patience. uh Uranus sitting in such a fixed sign is not something that wants to, oh, sell, buy, sell, oh wait, buy and sell quick. That's not the type of energy that you're working with these investments. It's, you got to sit on it, and it's going to test your patience, it's going to test your resolve, it's going to test your courage. It's going to, but those things are ultimately, they're going to catch up to themselves. I do have, it's not a client, it's a friend of mine who did not literally didn't, he doesn't, it's a guy, he doesn't believe in astrology, or didn't really so much believe in astrology, and he was hearing my readings on his own, which I was surprised because he doesn't believe in astrology, but he started investing a lot and was not humble in this process, which you have to stay humble. And all of the G wagon that he ended up buying, which I was just like, if you want to do, I remember telling him, I was like, if you want to do that, do it, but I don't stand behind this. But I don't know, this is my Virgo nature stepping forward. But when I tell you, I don't even want to get into details about it, but it's just, and now we're here. So these are things that you have to be, it's not, these are not transits that it's like, oh yeah, like this is up, so then, or this is down, and then you just, no, like you have to ride this wave out. If not, you could inevitably end up losing a lot. If you panic. And I don't want that for anybody. The astrology chart is not saying anything about longevity right now. It's not to say that the current investments that you've made cannot inevitably start to pick back up and gather more momentum and gather more weight and more value. It's just to say that right now, if you're starting in something new, or if you're trying to invest in something new, you're going to need to factor in, if you cannot afford flexibility and patience and the ability to wait, you're going to have more headaches and heartache than that feeling of, okay, I'm, my patience is being tested and my faith is being tested, um but I'm going to hold on because I can. That is better. But if you are not someone, if you're someone who's more, not more paycheck to paycheck, but if you cannot afford the feeling of anxiety or tension, and knowing that you have to wait and that you're not going to see your investment pay off sooner rather than later, then this is not the market for you. I'm not talking about stocks, but that's clear and obvious. I'm talking about when it comes to real estates and investment as a whole, any type of investment that you could possibly do. Everyone's going to be different. If you look at your chart, you can see what you would most likely gravitate towards as far as what you would invest in. But for the most part, I'm just covering the basis. When it comes to resources, food, quality of food, these are things that I really, 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 really really. I've always been a person who's been about like whole food and nutrition. Um, these are things that it's like, I'm really getting this shady, the message that's coming through, like the word that's coming through right now is like encrypted. It's like the quality of the food is going to be something that gets called into question, if not this year, then in the near future. Very, 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 very. And I know that we've talked about this before, but this is different. This is going to feel very, very different. I've talked to you guys about in the past, and this is not to bring up panic. It's just to make life easier, because we're in a major position of change. But I've talked to you guys about more self sustainability and understanding what your dietary needs are and what you can do to kind of offset costs in your own household and recycle and make things stretch a little longer. If you can cut back on little, like maybe something very simple, like if you go through your apps, like do you need to have all of these different apps and that are paying for certain things? These are things that it's like, that dollar that could have gone towards that app could have been a pack of seeds, which are aggressively, their price is going up on that too. Quality dirt, like investing your energy and your time into quality things that you can eat, that you can ingest, that will pay off into you, not just in your finances, but in your peace of mind. Your quality of life is radically going to be changing now and into the near future. A lot of this has to do with Uranus transits. We're just in it right now. We just are. And I'm not, we also have the part of fortune and North Node sitting directly in the sign of Taurus. Your best blessing and your best gift, and where you are called to focus your intention on and your attention on, is resourcefulness, um, self sustainability, not maybe not so much gardening, but maybe like what can you do to kind of offset costs. Me personally, you guys, before I bought my, oh, Serena Venus says Bahati Love Notes is worth the investment to me. I appreciate that. That's why I put it. I know that people were like, put it at $20 a month, $30 a month. I was like, we're about to be in a fucking recession. And I just have never been, I'm a Virgo, so I've never been someone who tries to stretch it a whole lot when it comes to resources and money, because I feel like it should be accessible to everybody. But yeah, $5 a month every day. Love that. Yeah, Tara says for the girls living in apartments, what can we do? I'll say this: when I was living in Philadelphia, I got really interested in canning. I sound like a doomsday prepper, but it's not. It was just back in the day, I literally could not afford. Not only was I working a nonprofit, but I was also a budding astrologer, not even realizing it. That was just felt really like excited to pursue my passion and to just, and I mean, so basically I would take, if it's not gardening, I would learn canning, I would learn how to preserve food. So just because survival, and I didn't want to ingest things that were going to make me sick, or I just didn't, I used to live in Center City, Philadelphia, all right, and I would go to Reading Terminal Market, use my money to buy fresh fruit and produce, and for as much as, not as much as I could, but what was reasonable for me. And I would get freezer bags, wash the fruit, chop it up in the right thing, and I would stretch my money that way. You don't necessarily have to plant a whole garden, a self-sustaining farm outside, but you can do certain things to cut down your costs and make life more sustainable moving forward into the future. Those are things that you can do. One thing that I would also do, because I was really interested in having an herb garden, and I used to use the fire escape because no one was ever going up and down it. And we had no uh, porch or balcony. Back my first apartment, there was no porch or balcony. I used to use a fire escape for planting fruits and vegetables, and the things that I would cut up, I would put into little compost. The compost would be in a mason jar that grew bigger and bigger, and I would put it in the window and just seal it shut so it would cook down faster. You couldn't see. I had a little thing of dirt in there, so I was actually making really rich soil. These are things that we can do in order to make our resources stretch a lot longer. If you can plant your own fruits and vegetables, by all means do it. Um, yeah, but if it's not that, you're not going to struggle, but it's things that are going to make your life more enjoyable, not just in your spending and cutting costs, but also your peace of mind. And it's just better across the board. So these are things that I'm seeing, you guys, big time, big time. Yeah, SP said I had a herb garden. I don't know why I said herb. Herb, channeling my grandfather. I had an herb garden. It was great. Yeah, my grandmother lives in New York, and on her property in New York, it's like you would never think, but she has a full self-sustaining garden out there. She basically, my grandma walks to the grocery store, the food store, and buys a big bag of rice and whatever small perishables she needs for that month. damn near. And for the most part, she's eating out of her garden. And this is in New York City, with those brutal winters. So, I mean, that really says a lot for me. It just runs in my blood. So, um, okay, Earth Daughter says, yeah, Tiara says composting on my porch. Absolutely. You can compost anywhere. Yeah, Tiara says, what girl? Don't even. My grandma has actually, oh my God. Janisa says, Jess, do you have a blog on your homestead website? Why haven't I thought of that? I totally should. I totally should. Letty the Gypsy says, oh my God, I've been talking about starting canning. I want to pickle onions as well. Exactly. Little things like that. Just things that can really stretch. There's things even like Misfits Market. They'll give you like organic produce that the grocery stores they can't sell because maybe it's not ripe enough, but it's organic and it's high quality. If you go get honey, I'm sorry, we're definitely off on a tangent here, but if you get honey from the grocery store, it can be $15-$25 up, if depending on the honey. I have Manuka honey that I paid like $37 for, because of its healing properties, right? And so, anyways, but something like not sponsored. This is not sponsored. You guys know I'm not that rowdy. If anything, this video is brought to you by Queen Bee Homestead. Ding. Anyways, seriously though, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, Misfits Market is not sponsoring this video. Maybe it should, but they'll have like a jar of honey that's like normally 25 and you can get it for 16 bucks along with fresh produce. I just would highly recommend not getting their herbs. I haven't had good luck with their herbs when I was buying from them in the back. Vicky says, yes, please do homestead blogging. I love that stuff. Motivation. I don't know why I did that. I'm just like so excited about it. Okay. Ashley says, how would Uranus in the ninth house be manifesting right now? I feel so confused my purpose. I mean, well, that's one of those things. So basically, confusion can happen when you try really hard to box yourself in, especially ninth house is like spirituality, education. Basically, the way to work with that type of energy is to understand that you cannot be defined by one definition. Like, you can't just say, you're not going to wake up and be like, I am a diehard Buddhist. I am a Buddhist, honey. Like, I wish, right? You'd be like, if Uranus transiting through the ninth house is giving more like, I am a practicing Catholic that dabbles in hoodoo and witchcraft and honors the practices of Buddhism while reforming my Jainism traits because I deeply respect and honor the God of it's like it just can't be like defined. It's all the many things that make you who you are that relate to you and resonate with you, and that is who you are. That's it's not like one and done makes sense. Like, it's very different. It's erratic, it's outside of the box, and you just vibe with it. For those of you guys that have placements, like she's just said, like Uranus transiting through the ninth house, I love that for you. Because you're not dealing with the swinging of the health conditions. There's a lot of people right now who are dealing with health and anxiety and mental breakdowns, and their taxes are whooping their ass, or investments that they made are going sour. And I understand each one of these houses they fare different. So it's like, oh, thank God. Aleo reads for you says, I'm probably not saying your name right. I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. She said, we fight so hard to box what can't be boxed. Exactly. It's not it, fam. It's not the vibe. Heavy Glow says, my manifestations came in hard, huge job offer. Toxic coworkers got fired on the same day. The universe is so powerful right now. I'm grateful I did it, but now I have to do it. Yes, exactly. Yes. Miss L. Scott said, oh my God, that's me. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You cannot be contained to anything. You just can't. Like, you're just special, you're unique. You're unique. Okay, one thing I want to talk to you guys about, I just pulled my notes up because I'm seeing, okay, wait, Des R says, my taxes are whooping my ass. You and a lot of people right now. So think about it this way, right? So we're going through these transits, but the government is also going through these transits. And the government, it's not only just their taxes, it's like a lot of things with with the government. And a lot of it had to do with Saturn's transit through the sign of Capricorn. A lot of things started breaking down on a major level, and right now that Saturn is at the very far end of you know towards the tail end of Aquarius. It's working on finding new leadership and new um implementing new practices and new concepts, that it's just having, it's like trying to come up with new ideas when you have a migraine, trying to advance a system that has been so old and antiquated for so long, and finding something that was sharp and actually works for everybody right now. So that puts, even though it's good, it puts that government in a bind, because now what they would normally use to tap in to get different money or resources, now it's no longer. So, or now it's not supported by the people, or now it's, those resources have dried up. So imagine, like, where does the government go? The government is there, quote unquote, set to provide for the people, but it also takes from the people. So then the people then have to fill in the gaps and try to plug in the holes and try and make it work. And, through different rules and regulations, those types of things. So it's just, it falls, it goes into, it impacts everything, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Okay, wait. Naja says, "Oh my god, me too. I'm so confused." I'm so sorry, with what? Let me know what you're confused about and I'll be more than happy. And just say, when you do type in what you're confused about, say, "Jess, I'm confused about da 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 da." Wavy Spice 01 says, "Money is no longer physical. We have put so much energy into it, it has become metaphysical." Laura Bug says, "My brother hasn't spoke to me for almost a year because I told him not to step over a dog that I was watching." That's crazy. Um, that sounds like a bigger issue going on. I don't mean to. Okay, Janisa says, "I don't know if they still have it, but Walmart was having a huge sale on indoor grow gardens. Yay! If some are looking to start their garden." I believe that 100%. Yeah, love that. Don't make me laugh. Um, huh. Okay. Sanina, I love your name, says, "Wow, imagine a world where people can't hoard resources and everyone can afford to eat and live." That's where we're headed towards. Yeah, Wavy says, "So we have to build a new mindset about money for real, for real." I believe that. That's exactly what's happening. Adrienne says, "Hi, Jess, you're my bestie. You just don't know it." I do know it. Hey, bestie. How you doing, girl? When we hanging out? Okay. Naja says, "Jess, I'm confused about my taxes. I owe the IRS this year." Aren't we all? Oh my God. I'm in it right now. I'm in it right now too. You got to talk. If you have a financial advisor, talk to them. They It's so funny when I talk to my advisors, they're just like, they're doing the best that they can. Everybody, it's like, have you guys seen the meme where little SpongeBob in his mind is like, there's like fire in the filing cabinets, and SpongeBob's trying to put the fire out, and it's like all going on in his head because he's trying to remember like something. Um that's essentially what my financial advisors are like every time I call them. It's not just them. Because there's a lot of people. I've heard of a lot of different financial advisors going through the same thing, and because not only is the everything just so wonky, but they also have their own private lives, and they're doing the best that they can. So everything is just so bananas. I'm surprised how well I've been faring in all of this. I've been very chill, knock on wood, just vibing. And a lot of it has to do with my practices, and I was working on manifesting balance. And I knew that if I manifested it, then I would have to show up for it every day. And that's what I've been doing. And when these things start, little fires start happening, I've been watching a lot of people panic, and I can just see beyond it. I can see it's like I'm pulling myself out of it because of astrology. I pull myself, I'm detaching myself, and I can see it from a more rational mindset. And I don't feel rushed to make decisions. I don't feel rushed to make choices. I don't feel rushed into anything. There hasn't been any spirit of panic within me. It's been a lot of peace lately. That's something that you guys know I was working on and manifesting on. Michelle Grace says there are some good billionaires. Um, yeah, Big Cat Energy says, Jess, could we get a video on some of those Canon composting, sorry guys, gardening tips, please? I don't know if I could do a video, but feel free to follow me on Queen Bee Homestead Co. I've been doing a lot of cooking content on my personal Instagram that I was thinking about migrating over to Queen Bee Homestead just to talk about like high um high vibrational foods and cooking clean and easy and quick and just really, really yummy, yummy stuff. I made this chia pudding the other day. Wow. Wow. So good. Ashley says, exactly. My husband wants a second baby, but I feel like whispering. What if he's listening? Okay. Is he in the room? Okay. Exactly. It's like when I call my friends, I'm like, girl, you alone? Okay. Ashley says, exactly. My husband wants a second baby, but I'm super composed and willing to take it easy. Yo, I feel that. S&P says, where are the fur babies? Just doing what fur babies do. They're always around. Yeah, Bailey said the chia pudding looked amazing. It was, and I'm so picky with my puddings. I'm oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is how you know we're best friends now. I'm so sorry, guys. This is not professional. I wanted to just start brushing out my ends of my wig. I'm so sorry. That is not professional. This is how you know I'm comfortable with you. I'm so sorry. Okay. Tara says, Jess, thoughts on starting a business this year? Do it. Literally do it. Please do that. Yes. Tara says, girl, you better brush that wig. I will. Little Gypsy, hey girl. She says, Jess, you're the best. Thank you, my love. Basket Weaver 912 says, you're allowed to be Juman. I love that. You're allowed to be Juman. I know you're trying to say human, but I'm here for the Juman. Yes, we do end up talking about snacks. Diana says we always end up talking. Yes, and guys, I've been gaining. Side note, I've been gaining a little weight, which is fine because Lord knows I needed to. For years, I needed to gain weight, but now it's too much. I know that I look good. I feel good. I look good, but we can't. So I've been now way more because I normally cook healthy, but I need to stop eating out. And I say that, and like last night we had pizza, but this pizza was different. This pizza was different. It was in this oven that is 8,000 pounds. It's literally 8,000 pounds. I remember because I was doing research on it. And it's from Italy. It cooks the pizza at 700 and something degrees Fahrenheit, which ends up cooking the crust fast, but keeping the nutrients of whatever is on your pizza. My boyfriend got like arugula with tomatoes and something. I got a margarita pizza, so there was basil on there and something else in the sauce. Oh my God, it was so good. But anyways, my mouth is watering. But yeah, so it was a pizza because pizza is life. Let's be honest. Pizza is my life. But the way that they cook it and the quality of the ingredients were whole. They were not organic, but they were very like good. It was good produce, fresh produce, and everything that they put on the pizza was just like fire. I didn't get the pepperoni pizza. To each their own. The two guys that were there, they got pepperoni pizza too. It looked fire. I stuck with the margarita situation. No regrets there. But anyways, why am I talking about this? Oh, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. Yeah, these are things that are going to go. We have totally deviated. We're talking about snacks now. I'm so sorry. It always ends up being this way, but yeah, I'm just going to scale back on my snacking, which has nothing to do with astrology. So sorry. Okay. So, on the 5th, full moon in Leo is going to be happening. And this is normally phenomenal. So for those of you guys that, oh my God, Kimberly says I just made pizza cauliflower, so I feel a little better. Yes. Yes. Teresa says, "Are we out of time? I will go a little longer tonight because I don't want us to be out of time." Oh God. Mon Chaton says, "Beetroot, feta, and rocket pizza is my favorite." That I used to hate beets, and now I love beets. I love beets. I love beets. Okay, Tarika says, "All while I'm eating a Milky Way bar." First of all, Milky Way bars are fire. And it's right on brand because it's Astro Chat Live, and we are technically talking about the Milky Way, are we not? Okay. Wavy Spice says, "What will that full moon be like from a Leo?" Okay, thank you for bringing me back on track. Back on track. So with the full moon in Leo, this is one of those things that if I were you, and I'm gonna have a full video about this. If I were you, I would use any tension that you're feeling in order to embody self-expression in its full capacity. If this means that you are so effing frustrated with your job, with answering calls, I don't know why. That's the first thing that came to my head. Then this is something that is like, you know what? Now is the time where I am going to take this and run with it. There's this also, I wanted to talk to you guys about independence and leadership. Leo, whether you're starting a new venture or you're starting a new brand or whatever the case is, Leo works in the realms of courage and your capacity to feel confident in what you give and provide to others because you know that it's valuable. I would use this Leo full moon to my full advantage, and I would self promote, I would self proclaim, I would um ask. That's the other thing too. I would believe it. I would start to manifest anything that would make me feel capable and powerful in what I feel and believe my purpose is, what my joy is. Another thing too with this is that highlighting children. If you want to make babies, this is a great time. Full moons are amazing for baby making. Not only because it's romantic, but the seed will usually get planted. Also, full moons will bring in the energy and the element of children. So this could be the inner child, or you taking extra time to spend with your own babies, with your own children. It doesn't have to be biological children. It is the child or the person that is dependent on you that you have that soft spot for. That is how astrology charts view childrenship for the most part, with the fifth house type of energy here, Leo energy. It's who you are called to protect. It's who you are mama or father lion to. Again, there, it doesn't have to be biological. It could be a business. It could be your car. You know, everybody's different. There's something that they have a soft spot for that they love to care for and tend to. If you've created it yourself, if it's something that belongs to you that anyways. So yeah, Cynthia says I'm a cat mom. Just Naomi says it's too expensive to have kids. I feel that. I don't know how they do it, how parents do it, but apparently when you have children, you find a way because you have no choice. So I get it. But yeah, so you can start a business, or you can make changes on your business, or you can do problem solving with your business, with your brands. Also courage, also art, also performative exercises, theater, theatrics. Those are things that are going to be absolutely amazing for this full moon and great outlets for self-expression. Let's say you're not someone who normally let's say you're someone who has pent up feelings. Doing like an acting class and signing up for something like that similar can help to activate those feelings by you reenacting how someone else might act through that moment. It can be very cathartic for you within your own healing. So there's things that you can embody. Miss Jase says, "My businesses are my baby." Yo, same. I want to share some last notes with you guys that I wrote down that when we are talking about independence, this does not mean that you are going to be isolated or away from everyone, or you can only rely on yourself. Being independent, because there's a lot of independence that's showing up here with Sun squaring off with Uranus, Venus square Mars, and then the full moon in Leo. just activating all of this energy even further, bringing it up to a, and not an explosion, but in our face. There's this message about independence here. I don't want you guys to tipple into the extreme of being independent means that you can only rely on yourself and that you have to figure it out all on your own. Independence means that you have a very clear idea, or you're gaining clarity on the idea for what it is that you want for your life and what you want it to look like. And you have found the capacity within yourself to venture out, ask for, manifest, or secure resources that help you get to that. Being independent does not mean that you are left to your own devices and you have to build a whole house barehanded. It means that you knew that you were going to build a house. You know that there's a house that needs to be built, or that you're going to build a house. And you, despite all the odds and all the obstacles, you find the resources and the information to get you to that. So sometimes when the internet talks about independence and reliance and self reflection, or ninth house type of energy, or the hermit energy, because the internet, no offense to the internet, but it's so limited in its perspective and its knowledge and education and wisdom. No shade, but I'm just being honest. Sometimes it's so limited in its wisdom that it can only see things from a very surface level, and then somehow those videos and that content just goes viral, which says a lot about our society. Don't get me started. It's really coming from a limited place, and you have to think beyond surface level when it comes to astrology, when it comes to purpose, when it comes to your life path. If not, you're going to box yourself up. And there's not enough people out there right now, at least, that can think that way. So they end up kind of reiterating the same information that is inaccurate and just ends up boxing you and putting your back against the wall. So when we talk about independence, I really want to caution you guys right now that we are in a time of major transformation, and you are and should be empowered through this transformation, because you are in a very important piece of the collective here. Your happiness, your joy, your ability to thrive is very, very important, not only to the divine, not only to you, but to every single one of us. If I'm winning, you're winning. If you're winning, I'm winning. So when you guys venture out and you hear me talking about um, independence and self-reliance and being a leader, I don't mean the very strict, extreme version of that. I want for you to understand that regardless of your past, regardless of your present, and regardless of what your future could look like, you are fully capable of some level of independence that puts you in a position of empowerment that will be better for every single one of us. And the more that you are able to stand within your own, or stand on your own, meaning like stand up for yourself, within yourself, knowing yourself, and you're empowered to ask for help, or empowered to look for resources, or empowered to know where to look for resources, the better all of us are, because then you're leaning on someone else who's independent, who could use your what you have, and there could be an exchange there, and then you can link them up with someone over there who can help them. So independence does not mean that you're not um connected, or that you are isolated or lonely or have to do it all on your own. It just means, again, that you are fully armored and prepared to get the job done for yourself in the way that you envision it to be. So that's what the Leo full moon is going to absolutely activate. And where the fuck are they saying that on the internet? Like, pardon my French, but where else? Where else are they talking about that? They're not. Why is that? Because they're not thinking. Half the time they're not thinking. No hate, no shade. It's just so frustrating. Sometimes it's so frustrating. Anyways, guys, I love you guys so much. I'm sending you guys that love. Okay, we have about 600 people on here, 478 likes. So we did what we could with the likes. I appreciate those that did give me a thumbs up. It does go a long way. All I gotta do is just migrate your finger over to that thumbs up button or dislike. I don't care, but I mean, I do care. The thumbs up button definitely makes a difference. I don't think you can see the thumbs down button anymore, but I literally, I send you guys good intentions. Thank you guys for showing support for me, for my work, for my knowledge, for my study, for my wisdom, for my voice, for my energy, for my time. All of it means the world to me. I will be back next week. Oh, look at that. It's catching up. I will be back next week. We are going live Monday, Eastern Standard Time at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, you guys can find me at bahatilife.com, where I'll be working my magic. And of course, this video, like I said, was sponsored by Queen Bee Homestead. We've got 3 body butters that I just dropped. True Love XOXO. Did you see how quickly that melted? Look, watch. So that, oh, hold on. I'm the worst at selling because I'm not usually actively trying to. So this is the whip. And then you put it onto your skin and it will literally, you can't see it, but it'll literally melt into your skin. Look at it. Love that. Speaking of all natural and organic. All right, guys, this video is sponsored by Queen Bee Homestead. You can visit me at queenbeehomesteadco.com or bahatilife.com. I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye.